Dear students, we are going to look at week 4 homework. All right, we're going to try to solve these together. So first, let's read the question. It says, measure the length of the pencil to the nearest quarter inch. So you might be confused, right? What is a quarter inch? Think about when you're buying lunch, right? You spend $1 for a bottle of juice, or you can buy a crispy Rice Krispie treat, and that's 25 cents, 0.25. So my question is, if you had $1, how many Rice Krispie treats can you buy? Oh, you can buy 4, right? During lunchtime. Each is 25 cents. So 25 cents is the same as a quarter, right? So a quarter inch is exactly 1/4 of an inch. 1/4. The number on top represents one of these quarters, and the number on the bottom, 4, represents how many quarters make up that dollar. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, instead of dollar, we're just using the word inch, which measures a length. So the first thing we want to do is make sure you start with one end of the pencil. So I'm going to draw a line all the way down. It starts here, go all the way up to the ruler, and then I'm going to be really careful. Draw a line from there to the tip of the pencil. All right, so now we need to count to figure out how long the pencil is, right? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not quite 8 inches. Remember, we didn't start on 0. We didn't start on 0, therefore we count wherever the eraser started. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now we're going to subdivide this last part into quarters. So we're starting at 8, like this. If I cut it in halves, now I have 2 halves, right? I have half of 8, and then another half. Then I'm going to cut it again in halves. Now I have quarters. So let's see. How many quarters do we have? 1, 2, and 3. Oh, okay. So measure the length of the pencil to the nearest quarter inch. So this is 7 and 3/4 inch. All right, so we're going to write the pencil is 7 and 3/4 inches long. Okay, that's how you do number 1. Be very careful with these type of questions. They can be confusing. Now let's take a look at number 2. Look just like number 1. Okay, number 2, let's read it first. How much longer is the pencil than the crayon? I know this. Whenever I have to figure out how much longer, I would box that. I know I need to subtract. I need to find the difference between two distances. In this instance, we're talking about the crayon and the pencil. So let's be very careful. Let's first measure the pencil. If I draw a line from the bottom to the pencil, the eraser, that goes to 1. And I'm going to draw a line from the tip there. Okay, so let's count how long the pencil is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches. And how many quarters is that? Oh, I know this is 4/4. So there is only 1/4. So that's the pencil is 7 inches 1/4. Okay, let's take a look at the crayon. Draw a line there, and then we're gonna go there. So let's count. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 inches and how many quarter? Okay, let's divide that into fours. Just 1. So the crayon is 3 inches and 1/4. So how much longer require us to subtract? So what am I subtracting? I'm subtracting these two numbers, right? Put a bigger number on top. 7 and 1/4 minus 3 and 1/4 equals 4. Why? Because 7 minus 3 is 4, and the quarters just cancel each other out. Okay? So I am going to answer this. The pencil is 4 inches longer than the crayon. Okay? And that's how you do number 2. Let's take a look at number 3. Let's read this together. Dion is going to London's birthday party. Dion's house is 55 miles away from London's house. London's house is 2 miles away from the toy store. Dion first went to London's house and then they both walked to the toy store. How far did Dion travel from his house to the toy store? Round your answer to the nearest 10. So there are several things we need to pay attention to. First, this information is Dion's house is 55 miles away from London's house. London's house is 2 miles away from the toy store. So this tells us two distances we need to worry about. Dion first went to London's house, and then they both walked to the toy store. So they both walked to the toy store. This just tells me that I need to add the distance between Dion's house and the toy store. Okay? Because Dion first walked, that's the distance from his house to London's house. Then they both walked to the toy store. That's the distance from London's house to the toy store. So the question is, how far did Dion travel from his house to the toy store? I will first add 55 plus 2, which gave us 57. Then I need to round to the nearest 10. So when I do that, I can draw a number line. On one end, I'm going to think about the 57. Which two number is 57 in between of, right? It's going to be in terms of 10 units. So it's definitely between 50 and 60. So where would 57 fall? If 55 is right at the middle, 57 would be closer to 60. So I'm going to put it here, 57. Since 57 is closer to 50 than, to 60 than 50, we're going to round up and take 60 as our answer. So you're now going to write a sentence. You're going to say, Dion traveled 60 miles from his house to the toy store. All right, and that's how you do number 3. Let's take a short break.